Team, here we go. We are going to start the training, if you will, of how to build your business. We're going to show you how to share the products and their benefits with confidence. This is key. If you know what you're talking about, you're going to feel much more confident and you're going to be able to speak to people with ease. What you'll notice at First Fitness Nutrition is we focus on weight loss. And there's a very specific reason, an important marketing decision that we've made to do that. And it is based on this statistic. You've got 7 out of every 10 Americans being overweight, 42% are obese. Now, because of this statistic, this is what has driven the popularity of these new GLP-1 weight loss injections and soon to be the GLP-1 tablets. And regardless of the side effects, and that the vast majority of people cannot stay on them, people are so desperate to lose weight, they are willing to try it. And so here is something that I want to make sure that you all understand. If 7 out of every 10 Americans are overweight, and you have the world's first plant-based GLP-1 weight loss program, that is the opportunity. Yes, we have gut health products, we have health and wellness products, we have skincare products. But from a marketing standpoint, it just makes sense to concentrate on weight loss. 2 years ago, when we launched Trimsulin, people didn't even know what GLP-1 is. Now everything is not even being referred to as weight loss injections. Everything's about GLP-1. We want you to walk away from here having the confidence and the knowledge just to know what it is that we're promoting. And so if you can have a basic understanding, we're not asking you to become a medical doctor. You don't have to become a nutritional expert, but it's just a basic understanding. And I don't even think people are going to really ask you, well, what is GLP-1? I think the vast majority of our nation now knows what GLP-1 is. But here's my best way of trying to simplify. GLP-1 is this hormone that is produced naturally in the gut and it's released after eating. And the GLP-1 hormone, when it is working effectively, is what gives your brain the signal that you're not hungry. That's how it's supposed to work. The challenge that we have is that the American diet in general weakens the effectiveness of GLP-1. And why is that? Because our diet is very high in sugar. In fact, I remember about 10 years ago, Katie Couric had a 10-day sugar challenge where she was challenging Americans to try and not eat sugar for 10 days. Do you know how difficult that challenge is? Because when you go into a grocery store, over 80% of the foods on the inside aisles have sugar in it. Very, very challenging. But sugar is the enemy. And that's what's decreasing the effectiveness of this GLP-1 hormone produced naturally. Then you've got the high carbohydrates, you've got the unhealthy fats, and then you've got low fiber foods. And so these food choices are making that signal even less effective. And so when your GLP-1 signal is low, you're going to feel hungry more often. You're going to have unbelievable strong cravings, and especially gravitating to those carbohydrates because that's the quick fix, right? You're going to experience low energy, and you're going to find it much harder to lose weight. So this is now where the GLP-1 injections come in to play. What is it that these injections do? They are inserting a synthetic chemical called semaglutide or tirzepatide. And what these injections and soon to be pills will do, because it's the same concept, what they do is they slow down how quickly food leaves your stomach. Now let's talk about that. When you eat, your food is supposed to leave the stomach within 4 hours. When you're taking these injections, your food sometimes is staying in the stomach up to 72 hours. So obviously, you're going to feel full for longer periods of time. And as a result of the food not leaving your stomach for that amount of time, you're reducing the hunger. But this is not healthy. You know, it is so negative right now, this type of effect from the injections, that if someone is going for surgery now and going to go under anesthesia, they tell you have to stop the injections 1 week before. And why is that? Because when you're going under anesthesia, your stomach has to be empty. Well, there's a possibility when you're on these injections or the pills that there is still food in your system. And that's why they are telling you to stop the injections prior to surgery. Here's something else that's also important. When you are not eating healthy, you're not going to have lasting weight loss. And that's why, because of the slowed down stomach emptying from these injections, you're getting a lot of intestinal side effects. That's where this gastroparesis is, the paralyzing of the stomach. The challenge that you've got with these injections, especially when you stop, and think about this, the vast majority of people on the injections can't stay on the injections. They can't stay on it. And so when they come off the injections, they are gaining a lot of weight. But regardless of the side effects, millions of people have and are turning to these injections. In fact, the prescriptions are up to 250,000 a week. So think about all the negative news that you're hearing and all the potential side effects. People are so desperate, they're willing to try these injections. And it is so significant that the market is going to be over $100 billion by 2030. So you've got the soaring demand for the injections, and up until First Fitness came out with Trimsulin, there was no plant-based alternative until now. And we have it. And that is what I want to talk to you about. What we are offering people is a plant-based alternative that works 2 times faster than the injections without the harmful side effects. We're not competing on price. We're not trying to compete on price. We're competing on the experience. What is that experience? You're going to lose weight twice as fast, healthy weight loss, successful weight loss, and it's all natural. And this is based on a comparative study showing over 503 people using Trimsulin as compared to the semaglutide and tirzepatide synthetic injections. That's what we've got to offer. It works 2 times faster. Now, what does Trimsulin do different than the injections? What we are doing is we are increasing the natural GLP-1 signal in your body with natural products. So we are supporting the natural GLP-1 activity. We are encouraging healthy digestion. We help you feel full with the fiber that is in the product. We're helping reduce your appetite naturally. And as a result, you are getting to promote healthy, lasting weight loss success. Now, Trimsulin is made up of 3 powerful products. Control is your appetite control and GLP-1 glucose regulator. It's going to help curb your appetite. It's going to reduce your cravings. It's going to give you that feeling of fullness with the fiber and the other plant-based ingredients in it. And it supports healthy blood sugar levels. So here we go back to the beginning. What is creating the GLP-1 in people's body not being effective, the bad diet. And when you have a bad diet, it elevates the blood sugar levels, and that decreases the effectiveness of the GLP-1 hormone. And this is the solution. It is called Trimsulin Control. It's a delicious mango-flavored product. You just mix it in 4 to 6 ounces of water, and you take it twice a day. Supporting Trimsulin is the natural-based thermogenic fat burner. This is called Thermo. And the reason that this is an important component of the Trimsulin weight loss program is because this is going to enhance your fat burning. It's going to enhance your metabolism, but more important, it's going to increase your energy and focus. So you're taking one capsule of Thermo with your control at the same time, and guess what happens? You feel amazing while you're losing weight. And then we've got our flagship product, Renew. And Renew is an inner body and colon cleanse that supports gut health and digestion as well, but it also enhances weight loss. And this helps reduce bloating, it flattens the stomach, it supports gut health, and it enhances nutrient absorption. So now you add this product to the weight loss program, you're going to have incredible weight loss success. And then we've taken and put together a healthy eating guide. Now, this is important. We don't want you to look at Trimsulin as a diet. It's a lifestyle. So the most successful eating program in the world is the Mediterranean diet. So we have adapted the principles of the Mediterranean diet and we've incorporated it into the Trimsulin weight loss program with some exceptions. What we've done is the Mediterranean diet allows for simple carbs. Simple carbs, I like to keep in layman terms, anything white. White rice, white potatoes, white bread. Those are your simple carbs because simple carbs spike the sugar. We don't want to spike the sugar. We want to balance and lower the sugar. So we've just said we want complex carbohydrates. Instead of a white baked potato, have a sweet potato. Instead of white bread, have whole grain bread. Instead of white pasta, have whole grain pasta. That's what we're talking about. Very simple. And then we've also taken the fruits that are high in sugar and eliminated them from your selection of the fruits so that you've got low glycemic fruits that you can eat, which does not spike the sugar. So this is a program that is absolutely incredible to incorporate because you're not on a diet. And I think that this here makes your weight loss journey a lot more achievable because now you can incorporate what you're eating on the Trimsulin program with your entire family. So Trimsulin, world's first plant-based GLP-1 weight loss program. This is significant. We are the only company that can say we have a GLP-1 weight loss program. There are other companies that are coming up with GLP-1 products, but they can't claim that it's a GLP-1 weight loss program. And our product is patent pending. This is very, very significant because this allows us and you to have the confidence. This is exclusive. This is not a me too. This is unique to First Fitness Nutrition. So what does a Trimsulin weight loss program cost? Well, first of all, it's a 30-day supply. It comes with one control, one Thermo, one Renew, and a healthy eating guide. And that's the program. And you take the products twice a day before your first meal and your last meal when you're incorporating intermittent fasting. Now, if you want to do some add-ons and accelerate your weight loss or have healthier breakfast choices or meal choices, then you want to add the Body Effects meal replacement shakes to it and the Trimbolic fat and cellulite fighter. And we even have an accelerated weight loss program for people that have an event or they need to lose some weight quickly. You will find that in the Trimsulin support website. Now, the results from Trimsulin are incredible. On the slide here, you'll see my daughter, Casey. She's lost over 100 pounds and has, like a lot of people, struggled to lose weight until Trimsulin came. And she's just had a tremendous transformation. But not everyone needs to lose 100 pounds. If you need to lose 10 pounds, Trimsulin is for you. You need to lose 50 pounds. We've got you covered. Now, earlier this week, I wanted to record a testimonial from Kendall Crowley so you can see how bad the injections can be for someone and how good Trimsulin can be for someone else. So please watch this interview together. Kendall, you've had such an amazing transformation using Trimsulin, but before we share your success story, I'd like you to share with our listeners the struggle and frustration that you had to go through prior to finding Trimsulin. Why don't you tell us that journey?
Yes, sir. Whenever I was about 7 years old, I realized I was bigger than the other kids. I knew I was overweight. Whenever I was about 13, I started trying the fad diets. They didn't really work for me. Whenever I was 18, I started on the GLP-1 injections. I was on those for about 3 months. I felt nauseous and just fatigued and tired. And they kept bumping my dose up because I had no appetite control. I wasn't losing the weight. I only lost 13 pounds in 3 months. Well, I stopped my injections and then I gained all 13 pounds back plus more weight after getting off of those.
And how long did it take before you gained the 13 pounds back?
I gained that back the next month.
That's incredible. So fast forward now, you now get on Trimsulin. And you've been on Trimsulin for how many months now?
15 months.
All right. How much weight did you lose in your first 30 days?
I lost 10 pounds in my first 30 days.
And that's fantastic in itself. But you were at a crossroads about 6 weeks after starting Trimsulin. Tell us what happened at 6 weeks.
I just wanted to quit because I felt like I wasn't losing weight quickly enough. I figured all this weight I have to lose, it's going to take me so long to lose, and I just wanted it to happen quicker.
So what made you say, no, I'm going to do this and continue on the journey?
Well, I figured if I could lose 10 pounds in 1 month, then I could keep going. If I just did what I was supposed to do and followed the eating guide and took Trimsulin twice a day, like I should.
All right, so here we go. 15 months later, how much weight have you lost?
114 pounds.
It's incredible. When you got on to do this recording with me this morning, you can see it all over your body, from seeing you at the national convention a couple of years ago to seeing you today. It's remarkable. And Kendall, I want to ask you this. How are you using Trimsulin on a daily basis?
I take Trimsulin twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. I also incorporate the intermittent fasting.
And how many meals a day are you eating?
2.
Fantastic. Did you start exercising? Are you drinking water? What healthy habits have you started doing that you never used to do?
I definitely go on more walks now, and I do drink a lot of water.
Fantastic. Well, you know what, Kendall, I just want to say on behalf of everyone at First Fitness, we're very proud of you. You're an amazing young lady. What a transformation. And I thank you for sharing your testimonial with all of us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I want you to pay attention to something with Kendall's success story. She says she's been on the program for 15 months. She's lost 114 pounds. So that means she's averaging just under 10 pounds a month. She's taking the product twice a day. She's not starving herself. She's incorporating intermittent fasting. So that's 2 to 2.5 pounds a week. That's the spirit of what we're trying to do. And she's having a normal life. So if you think about it, without doing anything drastically, we're averaging somewhere between 8 to 10 pounds a month. And I think that in itself, that's healthy weight loss, and it's very successful. Now, I've put this slide up here called weight loss, and it's got everything that First Fitness offers in the weight loss category. But I want to speak to you as team members, having some knowledge about speaking to people who are on the weight loss injections, because I think this is another opportunity to help those people. So what can you offer them when they're on their injections? Well, I can tell you, they get an injection, no one tells them to change their eating habits. So this is why it's very important to know what we have at First Fitness Nutrition, because we are teaching people to have healthy eating habits. And while a lot of people might not want to hear this, I can tell you this, that long-term lasting weight loss success will never be permanent. Listen to this, will never be permanent unless you make lifestyle and eating habit changes. There is no ways that you can get on a program for 90 days and then go back to the way you used to eat and expect to have lasting weight loss. So I want you to think about what we're doing. We're on a mission, not to just help people lose weight, but to actually transform their life physically with their eating, incorporating exercise. Think about how exciting that can be when you can get someone to change their bad eating habits to healthy eating habits. But here's what I would recommend to offer people on the injection. They absolutely need Renew to support their gut health, and they probably are having gut health issues. They need Thermo. That's a fat burner. They absolutely should take that. And I would also recommend the Body Effects meal replacement shakes and Trimbolic. But there are support products that people on the injections should be taking. I hope that today we have shown you the timing is right to create a movement at First Fitness Nutrition. Think about this. We are the only company in the world that has a patent pending GLP-1 weight loss program that works. I want you to think about this. Novo Nordisk, which is the makers of Ozempic and Wegovy, spent $330 million in 21 and 22 to get that OOO Ozempic ad into your living rooms around the middle of 2023. 300 million in over 2 years. We haven't spent 300 million. We've only had Trimsulin out for 2 years. We are just getting started, because I believe the next 5 years is going to be the most exciting time that this company has ever had in 36 years of being in business. I am treating 2026 like it's day one. Are you on board with me? If you are, say yes. Let's go. Let's go to the top and change people's lives, both physically and financially.